And stop recording, start recording again.
I stay out of American politics, so I have no idea what anything goes on in your country. I'm sorry.
No,
I try to.
Maybe in you.
I like to be informed.
It's not my country to be informed on. So
It's not my country to be informed on.
you live in internet country?
I wish.
Internet country.
All right.
Well, Justin, when I run for president in 2032, I'll make sure you're part of my cabinet.
I don't think I want that either.
Well,
Like, I legitimately want to stay out of it entirely.
You don't want to be the Department of Secretary of Transportation?
That'd be okay. I'd make everyone be in electric cars. Like, I would
Yeah.
abolish gasoline.
Yeah, do that. I'll make you my Secretary of Transportation. I already have my Chief of Staff, and then I already have a Vice President, so I just need – I have another spot. I'm going to run for president in 2032. If that guy, the current president of the United States, can be president, I have a chance.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shot Games cast. Each and every week, best friends gather around and talk about the news in gaming. Today, I have my trusty right-hand man, who is going to be the Department of Transportation, Justin.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
I thought you were opening with low. I'm your right-hand man.
Yeah, you're my right-hand man.
I'm honored.
Sorry, Lo. I just have to introduce you as Lo then.
Wait my turn.
That's okay. Can I be your black hand man?
Yeah, you could be the... what's that thing in Game of Thrones? The black hand?
That's just the hand.
Is it the hand? All right, he'll be the black version of that.
He can give you black-handed compliments.
And of course, we got the self-proclaimed marvelous one, Ben.
I'm not at EVO, and it makes me sad. But I'm watching EVO, and it makes me happy.
Dude,
not watching it now, because no, I turned it off. It's off now.
Good.
I do not want to be distracted.
Did you see those sick EVO fidget spinners?
Oh, they have Evo fidget spinners, huh?
Yeah, I would totally buy one if I was there.
Not again. I refuse.
No.
Keep on
I
spinning.
am putting my right hand down.
Put your right hand down hard.
You're the one that said keep on spinning, so I don't know why you have a problem. He's just staring at me.
Whatever. No, I'm reading about D23 news because I hate you people.
Is that like a
Because that's
D&D
my
thing?
email this weekend.
Is that a D&D thing?
No, it's the Disney Expo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's been news about like Wreck-It Ralph 2, and they just said, Incredibles 2, and they just had Wreck-It Ralph 2 stuff, and
Which I'm pretty sure Justin and I will talk about coming
Yup.
next week a lot.
so check that out.
Did you guys know that
As well as the 13th Doctor.
they're hosting what is it now? The Smash Brothers on Disney XD.
Yep.
What?
It's
Yeah.
going to be live streaming. Same like where Street Fighter 5 is going to be on ESPN2. Smash 4 will be televised on Disney XD as well as Twitch simultaneously.
That's pretty cool, actually.
That's craziness.
That is crazy cool.
The kids love the Smash 4. Also, it's really freaking cool. It's going to be on television. I didn't think Smash 4 would ever be on TV. That's so cool.
All right, guys. I don't think we have an opening topic this week. We have an ending topic on cheaters and stuff like that. I don't think we have an opener. So let's just get straight into the video games then. Justin, what have you been playing this week?
Not much. I've been playing a little bit of Zelda again. Not really because of the DLC, just because it's really the only thing I want to play on the Switch, and I've been doing more like exercise bike gaming. I'll set the Switch up on my exercise bike and just kind of go while I'm playing. So I'm like running around Hyrule trying to find. I did find like a really weird thing. Like I'm using the Heroes Path to see like areas that I've just completely missed, and just running around to those areas, seeing if like there's any shrines or whatever. Because I only have like 99 of them, I think. So I went to the top of this mountain, and a treasure chest like dropped out of the sky, and like it hit the mountain, and then just like rolled down it. And I tried to like magnesis it, and like the magnesis was too slow to catch the treasure chest. I used stasis on it, and like it would, it would freeze the chest, but I couldn't actually open it because it was just like hanging in the middle of the air. And so I tried to like hit it with the sword to like, stop its momentum down the mountain, and it would fly off the other side or whatever. I tried to just like stop it with my body, and it would just literally like I would take damage, and then it would just go past me. And I tried to follow it down the mountain, either by like gliding or running or even doing like the shield surfing, and it would disappear before I got down there. But like if you wait long enough, it'll drop again from the sky. Like it'll just keep dropping.
Huh.
But I don't know where it lands at the bottom of the mountain, so like I have a feeling this chest is not worth it, but I'm so curious because it just drops out of the sky and rolls down this mountain. I've never seen anything like it before. So I'm still finding weird things in that game, which is really funny to me. But I played a little bit more PlayerUnknown. I decided I'm going to start doing some solo matches so I can get better at gunplay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that yet because I haven't had much time at the end of this week. But I was playing with some of my friends, Dipstick Gaming, Gruff Madness, and Salsa Nips. We had a squad going, and we had a few really good matches. Like one of them was we got into a shootout, and it was like I think Dip and Gruff went in first. I was like inside this house. They went in first and took out a few guys, and then like got blindsided from behind and killed. So they were spectating me and Salsa, and so we ran up, and I threw a smoke grenade into that room to like blindside them, and then ran in. They had downed Salsa, so I shot the one guy that was still there. Got my first legitimate kill, not just like here's some guy running out of a tunnel. Like I smoke bombed and then shot him, and then raised Salsa back up. We healed up. And lasted, I think we were, like, the two of us were, like, 5th or 6th overall. I don't remember. So we lasted quite a while, and it was literally, like, the last circle, like, in the middle of a cornfield. We were trying to hide behind, like, hay bales and stuff, and got picked off from, like, some people on top of a cliff. I was holding my own. I was the last one standing. But, like, they would come out from the cliff, shoot a few times, and then dart back, like, hiding. Like prone, or what is that called when you're like all the way down?
Prone.
Yeah, okay. Like all the way down prone, and then it's kind of sneak up, shoot, and then sneak back. So they ended up getting me at the end, but that was a really good game, and it made me want to like get better at the gunfights. Right. Because like I can hide, I can survive, but as Thomas can attest to when we play duos, and I literally just like he died like in the first 5 minutes, and I hid inside a house the whole time. It's not that fun. Just like stay alive. So I kind of want to get more aggressive and actually learn how to like be good at that game. But yeah, it's tricky. There's a lot to it, and they keep adding updates that change things. So like as soon as I learn stuff, they add more complications in that I don't know how to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else to say. I'm looking around me, like there's just games in my vicinity, which is not. Yeah, that's all I can. Oh, and I mean, some more Final Fantasy IX, but I've talked about that plenty. Most of it's just been getting the scripts and stuff ready for audition time. Yeah. So that's been the last part of my week.
I need to play 9. Hedgie gave me that game like last year for Christmas, and I still haven't opened it up. I feel bad.
It's so good.
I feel bad about that when I get a game from a friend.
Well, play it and then audition for it, or just audition for it anyway, because I think I've got a few ideas of who you could be.
Nice.
But you could also play it, so it's not spoiled for you.
Yeah, I'll get around to it after I'm done Persona 5, which will be forever.
So never.
Never.
This Persona 5 never ends.
It's the game that never ends. It keeps going on and on, my friend. Yeah, let's move on to Low then.
What have I been playing this week? Not a lot. Just a couple of fighting games, just like Street Fighter V here and there. I'm getting back into my fighting game phase, I think, because I just that's really all I could think about playing. It's just like fighting games. It was weird because I was in my kind of like post-apocalyptic open world game phase for the longest time. And now I'm just on the fighting games. I don't know what triggered it. Actually, you know what? I think Rivals triggered it for me. So playing that, and then I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what other cool fighting games they have. And so I just got into that. That's really it. Just a couple.
There's a lot of them out right now.
Yeah, there is a lot of them out. So I was actually looking at Steam, considering picking one up. I was looking at Guilty Gear, that Blaze Blue game. There's a bunch. I don't know. I'll probably grab something though.
I'd recommend KI because it's free to try.
Oh,
It's true. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, you can download it. You get like, if it's the free version, you only get one character a week, but like, it's fun. So.
And you can still try other characters in the single player. You just only have 2 character slots, I think. So I guess you get new ones. You have to like change out whatever your secondary is. And like their health doesn't regenerate. You have to like use like heal items that you acquire through the story mode, or like, you know, by purchasing them. So there's some stuff locked away there, but it's a way to try some different characters that you might not have unlocked.
Huh, cool. You know, I actually never played Killer Instinct a lot at all. Like I remember like watching like my friends play, and I was like, what the heck is going on with all these combos right now? This is crazy. But yeah, I'll give it a shot for sure. Looks like a cool game.
Ben.
So unlike Justin, I actually play other games on my Switch. I
do.
What's with
already
this
beat-
random like Justin burn?
I don't know.
because Justin
So
likes to
offended.
mock me on Twitter, so I gotta mock him on the podcast.
Only because you have terrible taste in Disney songs.
In everything.
Although I'm kidding. It's actually one of my favorites. But
It's a whole new world for Switch games. I've been playing
touche.
Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap because it's visual style. When I first saw the trailer when it released back in May, I want to say it was May or April. It was like, it's really, really pretty, and so that got my attention. And it's apparently a remake of a Master System game.
Yep.
And I've never owned a Master System game, so I was like, what the fuck is this? And it's hard. It's difficult. Like, I think it took me at least an hour and a half to do the first boss, and that's because even though it's remastered and looks pretty, it still retains a lot of its old school functions where there's no checkpoints. If you die at the start at the beginning, granted, it's never really too long to get from one, at least in that first area, to that next area. It's just like it's about memorization, like an old school platformer. But it's so satisfying when you do beat the boss and find out where to go. And one of the cooler functions about it is if you press ZR and you press the R3 button down, or on the right joystick button, whatever, you press those down, you can actually play the game in its entirety in 8-bit mode.
Nice.
And the chip tunes. So it's like, I'll switch it. And one thing that made me laugh is that in the first area, on your way to the first boss, right outside the door, if you're playing in the HD mode, which, by the way, visually pretty, it's visually stunning, gorgeous. Like especially when you compare it to the 8-bit to its HD, it's like, oh my god, the amount of effort they put into this is godlike. But you go into this room and you're meted by 2 fireball guys who are just shooting the fireball statues. If you play it in the HD version, you can clearly see, oh, I have to go down this over here, and then I'll drop down. Oh, there. You play in the 8-bit version? Like, how are you supposed to know that? Because there's no indication in the 8-bit version at all. It's like, that's horse shit. It's such horse shit. Thank goodness they gave me that feature. It's fun. I haven't beaten it yet. I haven't touched it in over a week because another game I'm playing, because I've been hankering to play anything X-Men related, because they won't be appearing in anything Marvel produced. And I've been playing X-Men Legends for the PSP recently, because I bought it back in early May because it was like $10, and I remember I used to have it, then it got stolen and yada yada yada. And I forgot how much. I didn't realize until I playing it now how much of a dungeon crawler RPG it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like with leveling up, and so like I'm switching characters out and using my favorite X-Men, and
Yeah,
it's
the
just
whole
fun.
point of that game. It was like
I didn't know.
genre.
I always played it as a beat 'em up. I never called it a RPG dungeon crawler when I played it 10 years ago for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I have the PS2 version is fine. The only problem I have with the PSP version is that it has severe frame rate issues at certain points. It's like, oh my god, this is atrocious. But once it gets going, it's fine. It does the job well. It's a dumb story, but I just wanted to play something with the X-Men. And another game I've been playing is Oceanhorn, that a game Zero recommended me, basically Zelda-like. And I haven't really too much into it. I pretty much did the first island, which is basically your tutorial island. And it's basically a slower moving Wind Waker. Like,
it starts a little slow too.
Yeah, it's a little boring so far. The story has me interested enough to want to keep playing when I go back to it, but I want to beat the Dragon's Trap first because that one has me more engaged. One thing I complain about though is that I hate the default walk speed. Like, it feels too slow. Like when you're running, you have a stamina meter, and I don't even feel like I'm gaining that much speed as a result of it. So it's like, okay, this is kind of painful, but I'll roll with it. I want to play some kind of top-down 3D Zelda game, and this seems to do the job. I'm interested.
Yeah, I think it's a drawback of it being a mobile game originally. They didn't speed it up for when they put it on console with a proper control scheme. Because when you're using, virtual controls on a phone, you can only, you kind of have to slow it down so it's more precise.
Yeah, and the combat's pretty basic. I'm not complaining about that. It's just Dragon's Trap has my attention right now. I'm sure I'm gonna play it. It was only $15, so I'm gonna beat it. Because I don't think it's that difficult. At least so far, from what I hear, it's pretty straightforward and linear.
Yeah, there's a few optional islands you can go to, but
I wish you could actually sail. That's my biggest complaint. You can't sail in the game. You pretty much pick an island and then you have to watch it sail you there, and that's like just
you get more stuff to do on the sea later. You just don't have direct control over the boat.
But that annoys me. Like, I want to do stuff on the boat. Give me the free reign to do it on the boat.
It reminds me of Phantom Hourglass. You draw your path.
I wasn't a fan of that game either.
Oh, I wasn't either. I'm just saying it's not unprecedented.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's just like, give me something. I would rather just give me the option to skip the cutscene so I don't have to sit there waiting to get to the next island.
It's like in Final Fantasy 15, you want to drive the car, not change the radio.
Exactly. Or even at least in Wind Waker, granted, you're pretty much staring at nothing for the most part, but at least you can move the boat and you can do things on the sea. You can control on your own pathway. But I don't know. It's fine so far, but it's not something I'm hankering to go back to right now.
All right. Cool. I guess it just leaves me. I've been playing Persona 5.
Shocker.
I beat the boss. Like, it was interesting because it changed up the way I had to play. Like, most of the time you just find the weakness and hit it, and then do just run up on them with guns and shoot them. But this was a little bit more laid back, and you had to it was a much more physical battle, like hitting back and forth, making sure all your ailments or your stat buffs are up, like a JRPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I beat him. Just waiting for him to have a change of heart now. That's about it. And I decided to play a little bit of Battlegrounds before we started streaming and recording. And I found something pretty interesting with that game. It's got controller support now.
Oh.
So if you want to try that out, you can go ahead. I didn't really notice it until I was parachuting, and then it had the Xbox X to deploy my parachute, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I tried that out. Controls seem to work with the gamepad. It's a little weird because you can't toggle. At least I can't find the button to toggle between run, walk.
It's the toggle button.
Yeah. Okay.
Just press the toggle.
So, anyways, to walk, run, and that's a huge difference. And if you want to be quiet, you need to not move as fast.
Mm-hmm.
Another weird thing is that you have to double tap on the left trigger in order to go into first person mode and hold it down, which is a little weird.
And you have to double click the right mouse to go into.
This one doesn't really do it all the time. It's not accurate.
Oh, okay.
And then another weird thing is I got into a firefight and I clicked in the left stick by accident and it pulled up my map when I was shooting at a guy. And luckily he didn't know where I was and he just ran away. So that was a little weird. If you want to switch between the the gamepad and the PC and the keyboard and mouse, all of your HUD goes away, and except for your map, and that's about it. And so I switched over to the keyboard and mouse, and I was playing the rest of the game that way, and it was really weird because I didn't know how many people were left. I didn't have any like compass or map, or no, I didn't have a compass. I had map. I didn't have any ammo. I couldn't see how much health I had. So I was just running around blind basically in this game, and it's crazy. I died because I ran into a house after a guy trying to kill him, and I didn't have a crosshair, so like I couldn't really accurately shoot him. But there was like 12 other people alive, so if I just like stayed around, I probably could have gotten to the end. I don't know, without any HUD elements, which is crazy.
Sounds like a weird bug.
Yeah. Did you try to just like go in the menu and close back out, or
I have no
anything
idea.
like that?
That was a weird bug. It'd be cool if there was like a mode where it's like no HUD mode. You just had to figure your shit out. Except give you a map so you can see where the circle is. That's about it.
I don't even like that Zelda.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds crazy. They're interested in doing some modes. As we get into the news here.
Newsy news tune. A newsy news tune.
All right. So yeah, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. They're adding a new mode, a first person mode on dedicated servers. So they're gonna get their own servers.
It's better than just having first person with everyone else.
So yeah, it's gonna add a new mode. I'll probably play this for a few times or a few rounds, see if I like that over the third person. But it seems like an interesting way to like force everyone into first person. Like they can't cheat and like look around corners and stuff with the third person camera.
Oh, it looks like they added FOV slider and FOV slider too. I didn't realize it.
Yep, for the first person mode only though.
Oh, okay. So it did have one, just not the first person. Got it.
Yeah, in the Jelly update.
Still
You guys were saying you would probably want to play this version over the third person.
I would.
It'd be a nice change.
I feel like it would make people have to change up their tactics, and I personally do better first person because you're more like directly seeing the the vision of the character, rather than like potentially people being able to see better than you can, if that makes sense. Because like I miss details when everything is around me, but some people are really good at that. So in first person, it kind of like it limits the field of vision more for everyone. Equally. I mean, there's still, you can miss things if you don't know what you're looking for, but it's a much smaller range of field that you're looking at, and so it's like it's harder for people to see more than you can. I guess it sounds like a dumb reason, but it makes sense to me.
I get you. Because with the third person, I do enjoy like the third person camera, but for me, I feel like I enjoy it more if it's like a game that has like closer quarters, whereas something that's so open and it's like a big, huge open map, like I feel like first person would kind of be, I don't know, it would kind of make the game sort of kind of have a little bit more of like a Battlefield kind of vibe, I guess. But yeah, it's just like you were saying, like with the third person, you have like, you can see more around your character and stuff like that, peek around corners even kind of, if you like finagle the camera right. So yeah, first person could be, yeah, I'm very interested to play that for sure.
Although I'd prefer the zombie mode before this, but
zombie mode would be cool too. That would actually be way cool.
I just want to know what that is.
I mean, I think it's self-explanatory.
Well, I mean, no, like in a game that's basically like 1 versus 100. Like, how do they adapt that to a zombie version? Like, are the 99 people zombies and there's one human?
Or there's just
or is like everyone starts as a human, but then as you kill people, they come back as zombies, and like I don't really know how it works.
Is it just
but
like
I want to
because just with zombies in it? Like there could just be zombies roaming around on the map. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, it could just be the regular mode, but you also have to worry about zombies. So like instead of just killing people, it's like you could run into a room that's door closed and everything, but there's a zombie in there.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been looted, but then a zombie comes out of a room.
I don't know if there's been too much information on that yet.
There hasn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just makes me think back to DayZ when I first played that, and Jesus Christ. A lot of people like that mod. It was a terrible mod trying to get running and playing with people.
DayZ.
Yeah. Because you would spawn in like different locations on the map if you go into a server with a friend, and then it's like nighttime and you can't see anything, and then you're just running around trying to find each other and it never works out, or at least for me, anyways.
Marco,
But wasn't DayZ like where PlayerUnknown's kind of started, like as a mod for DayZ,
Yeah, I think it was.
and then now
either
like
DayZ.
PlayerUnknown's is introducing a DayZ mod, basically.
Yeah, it was either DayZ or like an Arma 2 mod because they had something like that in Arma 2 as well, the Battlegrounds thing.
Yeah,
I think it was both.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably.
He just keeps iterating until he finally like knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my game now.
Yeah.
I don't need your game.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Is anyone upset that Ni no Kuni is being pushed back to next year?
I would have been if I planned to get it,
Yeah.
but I have to really limit like what games I buy now because I'm trying to be a responsible adult. So I think like, will I actually play through all of this? Probably not. So why get it?
Yeah.
But it does look cool, and I'm bummed for people that do want it. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, delaying a game is always a good thing.
Yeah. I agree.
there's always a million other games you could play in between its release.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stacked year with like Mario, and I'm probably gonna play Wolfenstein and new Call of Duty game. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, it'll be good that it's delayed. It'll get more notice because Ni no Kuni, the first one, like I think it came out during a pretty packed time, and not a lot of people got it because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying the new like January to like March is like the new like
7th of November.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then October, freaking like October 27th is when like everything comes out. Just like a bunch of show stuff, like Stranger Things 2, some movie stuff, like crap, I can't remember the big one that comes out that day.
Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I know. But then there's games like Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein and one other thing I can't remember right now.
What's the
yeah,
Marvel
that's basically
movie?
like the media day.
What's the Marvel movie that's coming out like October?
Thor comes out in November.
November.
Yeah, it's close to there.
And then Justice League is at the end of November.
New Star Wars episode movie.
But there's an actual, like, there's a movie or two that comes out on the 27th. I just can't remember what.
I think you're lying.
No, I would believe him. There's movies coming out every week, so
That's true. Yeah.
Well, true. The only one I can think of is Jigsaw, but that's not a big movie, so it doesn't really matter.
is that a sequel to Saw
Yeah.
or a prequel or something?
They're still making those? Oh my
Yes,
god.
it's a sequel to Saw: The Final Chapter. Take that in.
Well, this cop
Oh,
stop
Hollywood.
calling it
Never
Saw
change.
and then
From the
just call it
studio
Jigsaw.
that brought you Saw, the final chapter.
Yeah, it's a new series. Now it's called Jigsaw.
Mhm.
That was the final chapter of Saw. This is the first chapter of Jigsaw,
Oh, ridiculous.
but it's still a sequel.
It's the
It really
first
is.
piece of the jigsaw.
Let's just move on. I upset myself. Although I'll still probably watch it because I love those movies. No shame.
Yeah, I seen Saw. I think I seen the first couple and they were pretty good. Just never
Yeah.
caught up with it.
I actually thought the seventh was one of the best ones. Just as far as like the traps they put together. Not really the story. It kind of fizzled out a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but the traps were really good.
So yeah, let's just move on to Her Story. There's so I don't know if you guys ever played Her Story.
Her Story.
It was kind of a weird game where you searched a police database looking at these FMVs and trying to piece together the puzzle and see like if she really killed somebody or if she was schizophrenic or if there was another person that looked like her, her twin or something. It was a really interesting game that played around with like those themes. And they're making a sequel, or not a sequel, but like another. And the next game in the series is going to be Telling Lies. It's going to kind of have the same kind of interactive movie format. The person that's supporting them supported What Remains of Edith Finch, and that was a really good game. I recommend you guys try that out if you can get it for cheap enough, for fit your budget or whatever. But I really enjoyed that. I just figured I'd just throw it in there.
Huh.
Cool.
All right. Next up on the list, we have some Pokemon bullshit that Justin threw in here.
It's so dumb.
So the gist of it is that they're making a Pokemon movie that just retells Ash's old stories without Misty and Brock. Such as like when he freed his Butterfree.
Yeah, come on, guys.
So
The only way I'll accept this is if at the end, the whole time, Ash has just been captured by some secret government organization. They're just erasing his memories and replacing them with other ones or something like that.
Well, the movies aren't canon anyways. None of the Pokemon movies are canon. Because anytime they meet a legendary Pokemon in the movie, they'll meet them in the show, and they won't any reference to the movies at all. So it's like this is just a promotional tactic for the current Pokemon game and their new legendary that's coming out. That's all this is.
Well, the story does say that Brock and Misty are listed like in the credits, like at the end credits. So it's possible they have a part, like a small part, just probably being killed off. It's just like first 5 minutes of the movie, they're shot by these two new kids. And they're like, they beat up Ash and like, we're your best friends now.
You know,
it's like, okay, I'm sorry.
It's
and then
funny,
they go on an adventure.
It's funny because I watched the cartoon, the actual Pokemon cartoon, before playing the game. And then when I got to Brock's gym, I was like, I don't want to fight you. We're friends.
But the game is supposed to be before they're friends, because like that's how it was in the show. Is like they became friends as he like met them and battled them.
Well, plus the game and the show are different continuities and everything. They don't follow the same path.
Isn't
Pokemon Yellow is continuity with the show?
It's not though.
It is though.
Ash isn't canon. His name is Red, and Red is nothing like Ash.
No, Yellow follows the show.
Yellow follows the show, but every Pokemon game is not canon with the show.
I thought that's why Yellow was such a big deal.
That's the reason they created Yellow, is because it was such a hit with the fans. That's the only reason Yellow existed, and it created a tradition of the third game. But most Pokemon games are not. The first two Pokemon games are the canon ones and don't follow the show.
No, I know, I get that. I was just saying Yellow was, and you said no. So, Yellow follows.
The Yellow's not canon.
Thomas died. We killed Thomas.
You guys are talking about Pokemon canon. What is wrong with you?
Well, actually.
Oh, hey, let's have a 10-minute conversation about wrestling instead, because that's better.
Yeah, it's way better. It's real life.
Dick.
Or you can just like both like I do.
No, let's talk about fidget spinners instead.
I think the big takeaway from this is that it's just another movie. It's not gonna. The movies are never canon. It's just a way for them to plug the newest toy and the newest Pokemon, and with the way of pulling at nostalgia by reusing old adventures with Ash.
You know what you should watch is that Pokemon. I think it was like a mini series with Red. That was really good.
Pokemon Origins.
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh yeah, the YouTube one. Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, I think it's still free. And it's not even that long, but it's definitely more to the game than, say, the anime will ever be, which is fine.
Yeah.
Well, because it follows the manga, doesn't it?
It follows the manga / game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot. I wanted to talk a little bit about Castlevania, the Netflix series, because I watched it and I thought it was all right. It just really didn't have an ending, but they're setting it up for the sequel season.
Yeah, it was a cliffhanger.
I really wish they didn't say it was season 1 and they just said Castlevania and it was a movie, because it's a movie.
It was really a movie, and then they turned it into a show. They basically just cut it into 4 episodes.
Yeah,
they kept the same structure of the movie.
It's really good. Like, I was a little worried. I was a little shocked. I was like, only 4 episodes? I was expecting at least 6, you know? I think well, I didn't know it was a movie before. I didn't really read a lot into it, other than we're getting a Netflix Castlevania show, and it's going to be animated and gory. Trevor Belmont's hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved
a lot of fun.
Dick Trevor Belmont. He's so great. And
he goes into the church, and he's like, If I catch on fire, it's your fault.
Yeah, exactly. He's just and the voice actor who plays Thorn, who plays one of the doors in The Hobbit, I don't know his name, but God, that
Richard
delivery.
Armitage.
Yeah, that delivery was so freaking great. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of Castlevania, but the few Castlevania games I've played are the original ones and Symphony of the Night. So, you gonna say spoilers? I'm gonna say spoilers.
Go for it.
Like seeing Alucard at the beginning of the show, knowing who he was, and
Yeah.
seeing with the minute I saw the woman, I can't remember her name, and that I was like, that's Alucard's mom, and I know she's gonna die a horrible death.
Oh yeah.
It was like, and they lived up to it. Like it was gorier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, the first episode, it actually made me feel for Dracula. I was like, oh, this poor guy. Like,
I think that was the point, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Isn't Alucard? Isn't that Dracula spelled backwards?
yeah,
Yes.
it's also his kid.
Okay.
It's his kid with the human mother, a human woman.
Yeah, so the first this first season is taking place at Castlevania 3. So that's the one where you have the trio and you can switch between all three of them.
They didn't introduce the thief though. They only introduced Belmont, Alucard, Sypha, which I'm not gonna lie. When I heard her name, I recognized like, oh my god, so that's her. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
She was
But
a
no-
cool mage. I liked the way they showed her powers.
Yeah, but no thief. They didn't introduce the thief in it.
Yeah.
Well, season 2 maybe. It's gonna be 8 episodes.
Yeah,
And then Graham McTavish was Dracula or Alucard. I'm not sure which. I think Alucard. He's the saint of all killers from Preacher, and he's fantastic.
The Cyclops
Yeah, I
battle
had a
was-
really good cast.
the Cyclops battle was really good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
There weren't a lot of like Castlevania enemies in it. Like it really felt like it could have just been, any kind of like gothic fantasy show. But the Belmont and Alucard fight at the end was like, okay, this is Castlevania.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I just really hope in the second season we get a remake of the iconic "What is a man" line. That's all I want.
They have to, right?
Although the one thing
I hope so.
this show made me want is a Diablo series. Like it could be even animated still.
Yeah,
But like the way it was like so gory and like the atmosphere of it all, like there's some really good expanded universe Diablo books. I don't usually get into like expanded universe of stuff, but when I was younger, I would pick up those Diablo books because I was so obsessed with Diablo 2, and we hadn't had a sequel for like 5 or 6 years at that point. So I was like, I need more of this universe. So I picked up the books, and they're super good.
yeah.
There's one that's like the lead character is a necromancer, and they're like going through this this whole adventure like underneath a tomb in the desert, and like the way it delves into the characters and like it describes like the things they're going through. Like it's really well written, and it sets up the worlds really nicely, and it has some super cool characters and really interesting twists. Like I recommend them if you can find them, at least the first few. I haven't caught up recently, but yeah, there's some really good lore of Diablo, and I think it would do well with a similar series like this.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. Like as soon as you said Diablo, I was like, "Yep, I can really see that."
Yeah, and I mean it's hot again, so why not?
Let's
Hotter than Castlevania, arguably.
True enough. Yeah, it's a comeback from hell. Hell is coming back. Demons.
That's one of the other books actually. They're like trying to hold off the impending doom from this small town. I think it might actually be crap.
Can I point out
T1.
real quick about Castlevania is that Dracula gave that town a whole year.
yeah.
So it's like, and like there's my favorite tweet recently where it's like, wow, Dracula gave that town a whole year. What a nice guy. What a nice dude.
And they celebrate the death of his wife too.
Ah.
So it's great.
I'm not gonna lie, as a person who's really not into the Catholic Church, I took so much satisfaction in seeing them playing up the whole. I mean, because that's what the church was at the time. These power-hungry assholes who justified their corruption through the Word of God, and seeing them. No better scene was that priest getting fucked up in the in the house of God by demons. Kissing like that was oh, I
kissing
love
him,
it.
right? Like the demon that was
like, I will
fucking
kiss
with
you,
that
I would
guy.
love you.
We
And like
love you.
oh, so great. Oh my god. Make more evil Catholics and I will watch your show instantly.
I'm pretty sure in the Castlevania lore, they're like the church is like really bad. Like they're bad.
The church is
people.
always bad.
Yeah.
Especially if you come from Japanese culture, the church is always bad, and they are bad.
Yeah, honestly, the priests in that show I think are the real villains. They actually kind of make Dracula like pretty sympathetic, whereas like the priest characters are just awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They think they're doing good, but they're not.
yeah. I mean, there's
They
like one priest who
Because they
like
fucked
does a
over
good
the
thing.
Belmonts, right? So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, because they thought the Belmonts were heretics, which is true to the games. I think they banished the Belmonts because it didn't adhere to their ways. And then, oh, look at that! You need a Belmont to whoop Dracula's ass. How about that?
Yeah.
there's a really cool scene where he has the whip and he whips off a dude's finger to like save
Mhm.
one of the, I can't remember what they're called, but
It's like, how's your finger?
Yeah.
Just casually.
Was that his little like drunken brawl in the alley?
Yeah.
When she's like, are you sure you can fight? And he's like, we'll find out.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of vomited a little bit when he whipped out that dude's eye. I was like, oh my god.
yeah, that was pretty brutal.
It's like I didn't expect. I knew it was gonna be violent, but Jesus, there's something about an
Yeah.
eyeball getting ripped out. Like, oh
Yeah, it's like that's not supposed to be like that.
no.
I don't
I know
walk
it
down
got-
the
it got
street
me
and see
when, like,
people's
all
eyeballs
the-
falling out.
Although like the death creatures, like the flying death creatures, were coming down and like ripping people in half and stuff.
Yeah,
That's what got me more than anything.
More of this, more. But the only thing is, it's coming in 2018. I was kind of hoping for like a end of 2017, so hoping it's a beginning of 2018 kind of thing.
Animation takes a while. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know. But I mean, they're pumping out Voltron like clockwork. I don't know what studio's doing
Yeah.
this one, but it's like,
This
I'll
is
wait.
Federator.
I'll patiently wait because it's going to be good. Especially if it's Warren Ellis, who is a comic book writer and novelist who wrote this first season. If he's writing the second season and it's the same level of quality and it's the same voice acting, it's going to be good second season or
Well,
second 2 movies.
Yeah, considering
Hopefully they'll put a little more money behind it too.
Yeah,
Because you can tell where they kind of skimped. They're like trying to keep it safe. They're like, we're not sure if this is going to do well, so let's make it kind of cheap, which makes sense.
Mhm.
Speaking about cheap, we have a streaming service that is coming to you for only $10 a month.
But is
Yeah.
it worth it?
We'll find out. So there's a new streaming service here called Jump, and it allows you to stream games to your PC, mostly indie games from what I can tell here. And let's see. Yeah, so the way they're streaming the games to your PC is they're using a web-based technology that allows them to launch the game directly through the client. So they're claiming like low latency. And so this allows them to run games locally by only pulling assets that they need and not the whole game. It's launching with 60 to 100 games, which is a fairly wide gap, I'd say. It's like 40%, right? Like, I don't know. They have a beta period running from now until July 24th, and the sample size is 10 to 20 games. And I pulled a couple things here. So they're gonna Jump is gonna retain 70% of their net revenue and give 25 to 50 cents per hour to the dev. 25 to 50 cents per hour per user. So what do you guys think about this?
I think if they get a better game list, it'll be good.
Yeah, I don't even know what's on the list.
It all comes down to the software. If you put some things that people want to play, that'll make you want to subscribe. Like again, similar, we were just talking about Netflix stuff. The reason initially, a lot of the reason why people got Netflix was to catch up on shows that they had missed throughout the year. Now, a lot of the reason people get Netflix is because of their original content. Granted, not everybody, but $10 a month for all that is great, and they justify it to me, it's like, as long as I watch one Netflix show a month, that justifies that $10.
Yeah.
And I think that goes the same for this one. That whatever games they have, I don't think it's going to get AAA stuff. I'm pretty sure, just hedging my bets, it's going to get indie stuff. If you get good indie games that I may not have the funds to try, but I'll be willing to throw $10
Yeah.
over and then like play it, and I'm like, okay, this justifies it. I played this game this month, and that's it. And I can cancel as long as you can cancel whenever you want, and there's no like hidden fees or bullshit like that. I think it'll be good, but it all depends on what software they launch up with.
Right.
That's all it depends on.
Yeah. The main thing they need to focus on is regularly adding new stuff. because if they just if they have a good solid library at $10 a month, people are going to feel like they're getting gypped because they're not getting more each month. They're just having the same ability to play the same games. And then also if they can, have a strong start with, let's say, even just 10 to 20 games added each month, of varying quality. You can always have the stinkers in there that just kind of pad your numbers for marketing purposes. But then have the one or two high profile indie games each month that'll be worth more than $10 to make people see, oh, I'm getting more than a $10 value out of this. Then after the few first solid months, they can start maybe getting some exclusive deals of here's this game that was announced to be coming out. We're getting the exclusive rights to early access for it. So then they're the only place you can stream that game early. When it comes out wide release, it'll go to Steam and everything like that. But it'll be kind of like an exclusive beta program. And that way, it's a Netflix model of you can only get this here.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a few different ways to kind of make this stand out. But if they don't do that, I don't honestly see it really being worth $10 a month.
Yeah.
But there's so many other subscriptions out there.
As long as they can get the actual games to stream with low latency, and I'd be interested in trying it out, especially if it could possibly be an alternative to all that early access BS. It's oh, give us money for this game that we may or may not complete, which is basically what
Players Underground.
Yeah. Arc. Cough.
Right. But yeah, just as long as they have the technology to back up what they claim with their low latency stuff, then I'm definitely $10 a month. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, and that's where that kind of early access program would come in, because if you're just paying $10 a month anyway, regardless of what you get, right, and then you also get exclusive access to these early access things, you're not paying for an early access game that might never come out. You're paying for a service that lets you play early access games. So it kind of changes that business model for how they work.
Yeah.
And honestly, more of those early access games will probably get played that way. So it's an incentive for the developer to make those deals with this service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a couple things that are already happening in this kind of area. For one, Humble Bundle does their monthly bundle,
Mm-hmm.
and it usually includes, I think it's usually 6 games. I've signed up for it since it's launched. They include some older titles, some newer titles, a lot of indies. They have their own thing that comes with it. So you get one Humble Origin bundle. So that's where they get their start. That's where I play this weird game where you're a bird and you're just flying around listening in on conversations. It was experimental, but it was kind of cool.
Real quick, speaking of Humble Bundle right now, I haven't been there in a while, and right now they have a Capcom bundle going on.
What?
I thought you were going to talk about the Kirby bundle.
No. Oh, there's a Kirby bundle?
There's a Jack Kirby. Is that his name?
Oh, no.
That's the artist. That's the artist.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's got, for $1, it's got the new DMC reboot. Devil May Cry.
I'm going to have to do this.
And then the next thing up is Dead Rising 2, the Resident Evil HD remaster, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 6, and then the next tier up is Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition.
Yeah, I've got all those games.
I don't have a lot of
I don't have any of them.
I just got 6 actually.
Yeah.
But for $12 you can get all of that stuff.
Lo, I'll get 6 if you want to do a co-op run through it.
I was actually going to offer that same thing.
Oh my god, all three. Can we all three do it? I don't know.
Me and Lo were talking about doing a series on Resident Evil with co-op. Sorry.
Yeah, because
fine, we'll do our own Resident Evil co-op.
Yeah, you can do simultaneous. You and Ben and me and Lo.
Yeah, we'll see who's faster.
There you go. Yeah, see.
And with more giraffe blowjobs.
Justin and I will take 5. You guys can have 6.
5 isn't on here.
Aw.
Yeah, 5 is
Although
the
I'd
better
rather
one.
play 5 because I've actually played through that one. I've only played the demo of 6.
Never played through either of them.
I haven't completed any of the Resident Evil games. I've played some of them, then I was like, oh, I'm scared. I want to stop.
5's not bad co-op.
5 is
I wouldn't play it alone, but so much of it is in daylight, it's not that scary. Mm-hmm. And then having a co-op partner means the action is a lot more fun.
Plus, it's hilarious when you're getting salty at your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
anyway, sorry, random side tangent.
Yeah. So even keeping on the Humble Bundle side tangent, if you look at the Humble Monthly, they give away a couple for early. So They used to do one, but now they're doing two. Well, one of them is NBA, so if you want an NBA game, there you go, try that out. But they're also giving away Pillars of Eternity for $12.
I heard it was a good game.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good. Like it's one of those really long old school RPGs. So I don't know. And then they also have the service called Utomic, and that's another streaming service where you could pay. I think it's like €10 a month, and you get access to a bunch of different games. Let me take a look.
What is that in real money?
What? Oh, I don't know.
Oh wow, you get
Yours
Strider. I'm
Yours
sorry.
is $5.99 a month. I assume that's dollars because it has a dollar sign.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw euros for some reason. I don't know what's going on in my part of the world. But yeah, they had like Borderlands and like some really old stuff. But like when you're going for a streaming service for games, you expect a lot of older titles.
Yeah, and at least it's actually like big releases.
Yeah,
Like
Force
just the banner
Unleashed,
here has
Walking
like
Dead,
yeah,
Unreal
Battlefront
Tournament.
2, yeah, you said Force Unleashed, Unreal Tournament 3,
Yeah,
Sonic All Stars Race, the first one though.
Oh, the second one's better.
Yeah, agreed.
anyways.
Bound
yeah,
by Flame, Tropico 4.
It's more titles that you've seen at least.
Yeah.
You've seen around.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Games are going in an interesting way. Ben, did you
Yeah.
have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, Justin neglected to mention that for the $1 alone, get Strider, which is
I don't know what that is.
it's a Capcom property. It's a Metroidvania-esque game for $1. It's made by the dudes who made the new Killer Instinct. I played the PS3 version, never beat it. I'm going to buy it again just for $1 because I want to play it on my PC.
Nice.
It's only $1.
with ninjas. So
Yeah, so it's a ninja Metroidvania game. It's that alone, that $1 alone is worth it just for those two games. Because I'm gonna be devil's advocate. The DMC reboot, it's not bad. It's not a bad
good.
game. I
It's
know it
real
doesn't
good.
have your anime Dante, but Edgelord Dante is just fine, and it's a perfectly fun game. I played it once. It was really fun.
Yeah. It was a free PS Plus game, so I played like the first few levels. It's not bad.
Is it the definitive edition? No, it's not. That's fine though. That's fine. But like it also get Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 0. I've been wanting to buy those games forever, and I can get all that plus Dead Rising for $7.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm buying that later
It's
tonight.
not bad.
No.
I heard Umbrella Corps was horrible though.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
bad.
That's what I
It's
heard,
it's bad.
That's the game they're throwing in here just because, like, please someone own this.
Yeah.
Is Dead Rising 3 worth going up to the next tier?
I don't know. Like Dead Rising, my passion for Dead Rising, I love the first one, and the second one, but
Yeah.
it doesn't go beyond that. Like, I don't know.
I
It's,
don't
it's
wanna
a
play
fine
them
game,
because
but it's not like I don't have the passion for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to play Dead Rising games because they'll stress me the F out because of the timer thing. That's the one reason I never want. Like my best friend loves them, and
I feel like the timer thing doesn't like since they took it away. Yeah, it's less stressful, and I have the
right,
same
but the
issue with
timer
you.
thing is a thing in 2
But
and 3 though.
I feel like
I don't
it doesn't
think it's in
have
2 and 3. I
a
thought it was just
driving
1.
force anymore. You know, like
I'm
there's
pretty sure it's
nothing
at least in 2.
driving you to complete it. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
But when any game that gives you like a specific time you have to complete something in annoys me.
Yeah.
Like the old Harvest Moon games where it's like if you don't get everything done within 3 years, your game is over and you die alone.
Oh wow!
Basically.
It's like real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Persona games have some of that kind of stuff, but they give you so much leeway that it's like you would have to try and fuck up in order to lose the game.
That's
Right.
fair.
All right. Let's move on to. Oh yeah, I also put it in this little fun one here. I just saw like Kotaku tweet this out that there's a card game on the Switch. I think it's called like Sheepy or Sheefy. It's a card game about sheep fucking and then dying after.
What?
How cheerful.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole point of the game is to like have them like populate your sheep as much as you can and then kill them off. Like it's weird. I don't know. I threw this in there because I thought it was kind of funny.
It sounds I don't even know. I don't even know what to. I'm not even sure what to think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
okay.
nothing.
I'll just move on. Then. I thought maybe you guys would have some kind of reaction, but I guess not.
I think it's best to just leave that in silence, honestly. It's funnier that way. Nothing we can say can top that story itself.
All right. Let's get into this last one then. So 40,000 Steam accounts have been banned for cheating, I believe, in one day.
Holy shit.
Bad boys.
They've been VAC banned, so that means you can't play online, basically.
What you gonna do?
It came after the Steam summer sales, and they found these accounts were buying cheap games to cheat. They didn't really specify like what they were doing actually, but I have a feeling it has something to do with like what is it? Like Steam trading cards. Like maybe they're trying to game that system to make money. I don't know.
Oh,
I think they were using a new account to buy like games that were on sale,
Yeah,
and then
they didn't really say.
gifting them to their other account. I don't really know actually, because if you gift something, you can't sell it.
Yeah. So I'm not
Maybe
entirely
they
sure
were using-
what it
possibly
was.
using new accounts to buy games and then maybe do like a G2A kind of thing, try to flip it,
That could be.
and then when they go to redeem the game, they like do something else with it. I don't know, because that's happened to me before. Because if you go on G2A, I bought stuff on G2A before, and one of the options, you can either get a Steam key or you can get it as a Steam gift, which is kind of sketchy. And I was like, I don't know about this. I tried it once. It was a bogus deal. I ended up getting my money back and everything, but that's as far as like that. I think that's probably one thing they're trying to do. But how scummy? Like what? Come on, guys! Like what is this?
Yeah, Justin gave me this story, and then he said to me afterwards he wanted to talk about cheating in general, like as a topic. Was there somewhere you wanted to go from there?
Yeah, sorry, I was reading. I was trying to figure out if there was any more information on why they were banned, and it still doesn't really say. It just says that Valve cracked down on cheaters the next morning after the Steam summer sale ended, knowing that they'd want to get their game on another account at a discount.
It makes no sense, right?
No, it doesn't. But I basically just wanted to talk about like why people cheat in games. Like, there was the story a little while ago about the GTA, like, was it Open 4 mod being killed that people were basically abusing. So not just using it single player, but using it to like mess with people in GTA Online by like, screwing up the physics in the game and stuff and basically ruining the experience for everyone.
Or like teleporting everybody to a certain location.
Yeah. Or like there's I don't know if it's so much a problem with current games because I don't really play any like online competitive games anymore, except PlayerUnknown's. But that, as far as I know, doesn't really have any cheating. But there used to be a lot of issues with like Diablo 2 and stuff, where people would either like hack in like different items, or they would do all kinds of weird stuff where like they could basically like god mode themselves to like trick you into a duel. And then, like, you couldn't hit them at all. Like, you couldn't touch them. And I remember there was one time I was playing Borderlands 2 on 360, I think, online. Because, like, you can just open your game up whenever you want. It doesn't really matter. Or the original Borderlands, actually. And someone popped in my game and just, like put in the chat or whatever that they had an item to give me. And so, like, I ran out to meet them. And they literally just started like it was kind of goofy because like the animation shows it like coming from your crotch basically, and so they just started shooting out the stream of like the same weapon or whatever out of their crotch, just like thousands of them, until like it couldn't load anymore, and it just kept like it kind of kept the stack the same, but it kept shooting out, and so I hovered over them to see what they were, and it was like a super powerful gun, and I was afraid to pick it up, and someone else in the same server was like, don't touch those people, because if you get that item, like you can't get rid of it. It hacks your game because you have an illegal item in your game, so that like it affects how you can like play with other people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it's literally just like they're running around like, hey, take this thing, and then like it screws with your game. And there's so many of these examples. Like, what's the purpose of it? Like, you're not helping yourself win really in those cases.
Mhm.
You're not having fun.
Trolls.
But why?
Because
Like, what's the satisfaction from it?
Because they want to see if they can get something over somebody. They get the satisfaction of getting the giggles.
Mhm.
That's trolls, Justin. You live on the internet. Come on.
I know. I don't understand that mentality. Like, maybe because I'm not a terrible person, arguably.
There you
Right,
go.
you're a decent human being, and you should be thankful for that.
But what makes someone want to be a terrible person?
Probably some traumatic experience that didn't turn him into Batman, but made him become a troll.
Yeah. Or they just had a bad day, or they just don't.
Yeah,
Just I
Because
don't
that's
know,
how
man.
they get off. They get their kicks by doing that kind of stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just feel like it would take all the fun out of something. Like I grew up using like the Game Shark and stuff like that on some games. Like I jumped over the flag in the original Mario Bros. And like kept running until the timer ran out because I thought maybe there was something over there and there wasn't. Little things like that. That was like back in the day when it was you were just screwing up your own game.
Yeah.
Now everything's online. It's like, haha, I can be dumb and mess with you too.
Hmm.
Yeah. There was a problem with Call of Duty. Like there was a lot of like aimbots and wall hacks and stuff like that would ruin the experience. That's when I first played that game, so it drew me off the experience for a few years until I came back and started actually playing it again.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen a lot in fighting games, but there's a thing. I don't know how, and I think it's another game too. But there's a thing I think you can intentionally turn on lag. It's a lag switch. I ran into somebody who did this, and at first, it's their internet. But every time I would, do this one move to this guy, the lag would just go to crazy. And when it's laggy, it's hard to tell when it's right to press a button and my input's working, and they would always come out on top. So like there's that, and they get their jollies on, hey, I beat you, even though they didn't do it fairly. They just know they beat you, and they want to get that reaction out of you. I mean, that's all it is. It's provoking that reaction, and that's because, Justin, again, you're a very nice, handsome young man, and that's why you don't get that. But these people, they're trolls. They don't care about how it affects them. They just want to know that they got to you, or they think they got to you.
I read an interview where someone was interviewing these kind of people, and some of them said like they just don't have the time to get good at the game, so they just get these things to get better.
What a cop out.
And that's fine in a single player game. Like you can cheat your way through any game you want to not enjoy playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
I saved
in an
state
online
like a
space, it's different.
Yeah, I saved state like a motherfucker in NES games on my 3DS for the Wii U.
Yeah.
I save state through any like ROM I play.
Yeah.
But I'm just resting with my own experience. And it's usually because I played the game before. Like most of them I've beaten legitimately. I just don't feel like putting all that effort in anymore because I'm an adult and I have things to do. But like, I just in a specifically a competitive game, like there's no narrative focus. It's not co-op or anything. You're not helping anyone. You're only hurting other people. I can't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Baffles me.
If I ended up doing something like that, I'd feel like I'm cheating myself.
Right.
So I wouldn't do that in multiplayer games because I just feel like I want to like naturally win, like because I know.
Yeah, surely you can't get any satisfaction from that win.
Yeah, but in single player, I used to cheat all the time. Like Grand Theft Auto was like the king example of that kind of stuff. Like he just cheated.
Everyone
Never completed a Grand Theft Auto game.
All armor, all health, all weapons.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto and The Sims.
Yeah,
those are the ones.
That's one thing, because those are single player experiences. Even with freaking Skyrim and Fallout, you have access to the console. You can do no clip mode. You can fly around, do all this crazy stuff. Most of the time, I use that kind of stuff to take like cool screenshots and whatnot. But yeah, it's single player is one thing. But honestly, that's one reason why I stopped playing Paladins, just because I just kept running into people using aimbots. Because it would go to the kill cam, and it was just like the movements were just so like, oh come on. You're clearly using an aimbot, not even a very good one either, obviously. But yeah, I'm with you, Justin. I that's one of those things I just don't understand. And when I like first started like gaming online, I just remember thinking like, what? People would like cheat to win the game? People would really do that? And
Yeah.
now I just assume everybody cheats. For most people anyways.
And that's when you get that mentality of like people actually playing. It's like, oh, I only lost because the other team was cheating. So like,
Yeah, right.
they get butthurt because they lost because they just assume that people are cheating even though they're just not good. But like if there weren't cheaters, there wouldn't be that excuse for the people that aren't good to use.
Right.
Yeah. I had a friend who, back in the 360 days, he hacked his 360 so you could play like burn games on it.
Mhm.
And he says to me, like I'm playing a game and I got this achievement or whatever. And then he goes to me, he goes, I can just unlock all my achievements, right? And get them all. I'm like, well, that's great, but like
for you.
you didn't get them, you idiot.
Right.
What-
What are you bragging about, really?
He just wants a bigger E-penis. That's all he wants.
Basically. Yeah, there's a whole like subculture of the internet that just baffles me.
It's a crazy, crazy thing. It really is.
You could cheat to get more followers on Twitch.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
You can.
How do you think I have so many Twitter followers and Twitch followers? They're all bots.
Do you?
No, I don't. I only have 2. If I cheated to have followers, I would at least give myself respecting 500 followers, not 221.
Did
You
you
have to
know
make
that
it so it's
offhand, or
not
did you
obvious.
just look?
I just looked.
Okay, cool. It really bothers me when people just know, like they keep tabs on their follower count.
No, I don't give a shit.
Mhm.
I love my followers, but most of them are bots.
Yeah,
I'm sure I got a bunch of bots in there.
I was keeping an eye on mine for a while because it was so close to 3,000, and it would get right up there and then it would drop, and then it would get up there and then it would drop, and like I didn't care about the number. Like the OCD part of me just wanted like an even. It's like just be at 3,000, please.
Hmm.
But that's the only
No.
time I ever care.
But to give my final thoughts, cheating's bad, and you shouldn't cheat, and cheating's bad. Cheating's bad.
If you do it, then you're bad. Okay.
I'm going.
I don't know. I kind of like. There's a side of me that actually likes it on custom servers because like there's a lot of weird, interesting stuff people can do with cheats. Like just like trying to break the game. I kind of like enjoy that kind of stuff.
Well, if you do it in a cooperative manner, like if you're in a custom match and like you bring people in and it's like, okay, we're going to use these cheats. That's fine. I'm saying completely in an online
Yeah.
competitive
Yeah.
nature.
I know what
That's
you're
when
saying.
it's awful. Yeah. But no, cheats are great. Like they're super fun. I like that they exist. I just hate that people like, use their own or like use them in ways that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Just to win for the sake of winning. I don't even know.
I was
You're
on
not
a,
even
I was on a
winning.
custom
Satisfying.
Modern Warfare 2 server, and this dude like he made everybody fly. He turned off like gravity or something. He gave everybody rocket launchers, and we just like flew around like shooting rocket launchers at each other. It was freaking crazy. Like I love that kind of
Sounds
stuff.
awesome.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
like
remember a code in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City that it gave you like a shit ton of weapons, and we would always, me and my friends, whenever we were bored, we would just go to this one place over the police station. I don't remember what island it was, but it was pretty infamous. And we would just start shooting police cars, and just like wait till they get to like 5 stars, and then we would just try to like, okay, who can survive the longest?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's cheating. Again, I agree with Justin. Single player cheating is fine. If you're gonna cheat like within an online environment, make sure the person you know is cheating with. Remember, kids, consent is key. And then
do it safe, do it sound.
But like if you're doing it to somebody who has no idea, like if you make a bot in Street Fighter 5, because they exist, there are fighting bots in Street Fighter 5 you encounter. Yes, that is a thing. Is a thing, Nero. You will encounter at least one of them where they'll just do mindless things and they will do ridiculous amounts of damage. Like you're just being an asshole at this point. Like just don't, and you deserve to get banned if you're trying to manipulate any kind of system against somebody who has no idea what you're doing.
See, I'd rather have somebody like cheese me or like spam like the same move, because at least they know that one move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At least they're doing it. Like it's on
Nero,
their
you're-
conscience that they're spamming.
Nero, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me.
Oh, we'll see. I'm curious to see your
I have a couple of videos. I should link you. video I uploaded a while ago.
Give me time to prepare.
Yeah.
But no, there's one area where I'm kind of gray on cheating, and that's with like the MMO scene. I think we've got plenty of time. We can keep talking about this. But like, there's the people that just do like the bot farming, where you know they just have some like a bot online for them when they're not online, just like you know either killing monsters just kind of willy nilly, or like if it's an RTS, just like kind of farming for resources and things like that. So that when they get back to the game, it's like they have, you know, a bunch of gold or whatever the case is. And that's still a little bit bad because you are in an online marketplace type thing. And so like you didn't get all that stuff. It just happened while you weren't playing. And then you come in and like you can buy all this really good stuff. And, you know, suddenly you're better than everyone else playing. But it's not really hurting anyone. It's just kind of like it's dampening your own experience because, I mean, you're not really playing the game. You're just going over to it to collect whatever your bot got for you and then set it going again.
Yeah, that stuff can become weird because they had gold farmers for World of Warcraft for a while.
Right.
I don't know if they're still going, but it can hurt the in-game economy.
Right.
There was one article I saw. I can't remember what it was, but essentially what happened was someone bought up all the houses, and then there was a bunch of players that just couldn't buy any houses because the economy was all fucked up. And so like they kind of like labeled these people as millennials that couldn't buy houses. I can't remember where I saw it, but like I thought that was a really good story. I should have put it in here.
Remember, my favorite is still that image of millennials. Is that image I sent y'all where like millennials are secret hitmen? It's like, what are we gonna kill this time?
Yeah. I don't know. My general rule of thumb is the same really with anything in life. It's okay to cheat on yourself. Just don't cheat on other people.
Yep.
That's a pretty good way to end the show with a life lesson like that.
Yeah. Wise words from the Zero Score.
All right. Yeah, we'll end it there then. So thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for listening. Justin, where can the people find you?
I am at Zero Score on most of the places. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I'm hoping to start streaming again now that I only have one class, and we'll only have one class remaining until graduation after this. Hopefully I'll find some more time on my schedule to stream some more because I don't miss Let's Plays, but I miss just like playing through a game for fun, like for, you know, enjoyment of others.
I know you miss the interactivity of it all.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some ones I've been kind of thinking about. Like I'd never played through like Symphony of the Night, for example. I've like touched on that game, but I've never actually played through it, and that'd be a really fun one to go through.
Let me be your guide for that, please.
And there's a few others, but that's the kind of the main one I've been thinking of. Is like that'd be a good game to stream because people can help me through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm hoping to do some more of that stuff, and then like I said, just getting Final Fantasy IX prepped. More Final Fantasy VI coming, of course, each week. So check that out. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Everything else has been life, so not too much on my end.
Low.
You can find me on Twitter at Near the Hero, N3R0 THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Near the Hero, with letters and no spaces. You can also find me here on Charge Shot with these fine gentlemen.
And Ben, we can find you at Evo, correct?
No, I'm not at Evo. If I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, I would still be in pools, and y'all wouldn't hear from me. Ideally, I would still be in pools.
You could do the show from Lil's house, though.
Probably. No, I would be competing right now. I would still be in pools if I was winning.
I would be there live casting it.
Yeah, Low to be my personal hype man for Evo.
No, you guys would do the show live from Evo. That'd be awesome.
No, because I gotta compete. Anyways, Low, I'm gonna personally pay you
out by now
to be my hype man for Evo next year. We'll be Team Charge Shot.
I'm down.
But I'm not at Evo. Twitter.com/marvelousiggy. I just finished a Let's Play for Mega Man X2 after over 2 months of not doing it. Getting back in the groove of things. Freedom Planet is starting recording. By the time this goes live to patrons on Monday, I'm going to start officially recording. No official time on when I'm going to release it, but the goal is to have the first episode out around Sonic Mania time, so about mid to end of August. I can't remember the exact release date for Sonic Mania right now. But yeah, look for that for Freedom Planet because I want to celebrate the legacy of Sonic the Hedgehog by not playing a Sonic the Hedgehog game, but rather a game that has been inspired by the Blue Bird himself. And I'm going to try to stream. Look, Final Fantasy VI is going to go on hiatus, right? Because my class controller broke, so I can't stream Final Fantasy VI right now. So in return, also
covered.
Yes, exactly. I'll be streaming Sonic Colors because that's one of my favorite Sonic games to celebrate Sonic the Hedgehog. I tried to stream it until I realized that for whatever reason, the software I was using for Elgato is horrible at encoding. I don't understand why. So I've switched over to OBS. And so I'm hoping to stream that at least once every other Monday when I'm free. So not frequently, but it's not a long game anyways. And check out, I'm in also the Final Fantasy story play. I'm General Leo. I was in last week's episode, and it was very, very heartwarming. And I legitimately started crying when I heard my lines. It was just like, and also everybody else is ridiculously good. It's like, I suck, but everybody else is so great.
No, we all did really good. No, it's a community effort sort of thing. We all
right, but I have to be self-deprecating. It's who I am. But yeah, there you go. But for all things regarding me, just follow me at twitter.com/marvelousiggy. Get your furry on for Freedom Planet.
But before we end this, can you admit that OBS is better and I was right?
OBS has its problems, but it's definitely better. For whatever reason, it has a better encoding system, and yeah, it's better. Fine, you're right. You're right, Justin. That's what you wanted.
That's all I wanted. I need validation, okay?
I'm going to show you Ken the minute I see you. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to commit an act of violence.
No, give him a Tetsumaki.
No, because I'm too fat to move my legs that fast.
All right, you can find me, your host, Thomas, at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can find me here at chargeshot.com. You can find me on email, thomas@chargeshot.com. Until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Fight.
You guys are trapped inside my monitor.
Let them fight.
All right, now I can turn back on Evo. Guilty Gear semifinals are on right now.
That's all it looks like when you guys wave your hands. It just looks like you're trapped inside my computer.
Oh, like Poltergeist?
Let us out.
I didn't sign up for this.
Hey, you know, I